Okay, here we are. Now, I know you tuned in more than likely for the REwasd tutorial, and we won't go deep into it. I'm not 100% a master of the program myself. I'm pretty sure there's lots of people who know all the intricate details about the program, and hopefully I can help you out with the problem that I had when I was trying to use a controller to play games that don't necessarily support controllers, such as Valorant or Escape from Tarkov, right? And so when you first get it, you'll probably get this screen, and it'll probably, I already have one set up for Valorant. That was my case. And the thing that you really need to know when you're using this program, because I'm not going to give you a detailed tutorial. You don't need one from me. You just need the one thing that really helps out, and that's making sure when you add a controller, when you add something in, you choose the controller, the mouse, and the keyboard. Once the controller is set up, and possibly while you are setting it up, it will take away your ability to use the mouse, which will sometimes very much frustrate you a lot. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and pop on in here. Now, to get this program, you need to visit their website. So it would also behoove you to set up your sensitivity on your controller so that it's basically usable as a mouse while your controller is on and fast enough to use in game. Now, my main problem was I couldn't get the right stick to use as a look, which is the main reason why you'll want to set up the gamepad, the keyboard, and the mouse all at the same time. The best advice I can give you is to work with it, because I found no one's tutorial was complete. You get bits and pieces from different points until you find the configuration, or at least the operation that you want your configuration to have. I don't really want to waste any of your time here. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go through a mock setup here. You've downloaded it and you get it all installed. One of the first things you may see is this screen right here. You'll have your mouse, your keyboard, and your controller. Keyboard will more than likely say mechanical keyboard, and the controller will more than likely read out the controller you have. I have an Xbox One controller and a Mad Catz Rat 6. Now, over here are your configurations that you have. We're using mock right now. I'm going to show you guys how to build one together. Now, one of the first things you'll want to do is go over here and change the group. You'll want to take the Mad Catz, take your control, your mouse, add your keyboard and the controller. And then you can save this group if you like. Now, all control devices enabled on your PC, if you're using the basic controls for now, are enabled. At this point, you go into mock, and now you can set up your controller. And this is actually the key that will allow you to use the right stick as look, if that is your main goal, as it was for mine. So you click on the gamepad, go down here, and before you configure anything, you'll unmap all. The controls come with dual connections by default, so most of the time it'll already be mapped to something before you've even mapped it. So it's better to unmap all on the control. And then keyboard, nothing set just yet, and mouse, nothing set just yet. It's pretty easy to go through. If you've been messing around with the program, you click on it and it'll give you a likely setup. These are your different modes of button press. This is press 1. This is, I believe, a hold, long press. This is the double tap, the triple tap. This is press, and it'll start once you press it, and this is the one that does it on release. You more than likely will use just the press 1, double tap, and the hold for many of the games that are PC. Now, also, when setting this up, once you choose, you're going to choose something for the control, and you want it to take over for the control. Make sure you disable the things you do not want it to interact with. And it also helps you out when you're scrolling for what you would map it to. See, right now it's limited to just the mouse, because the mouse icon is the only thing that is highlighted. if I highlight the keyboard and the mouse, when I scroll this down, it'll have all mouse controls and all the keyboard controls as well. It's pretty straightforward and pretty easy to work with, actually. The one difficulty is it will take over the mouse control once you enable. Your mouse control will be transferred to the controller. That I didn't know. It's very frustrating. So be sure you know which button is your right click. That other step with grouping all of the controller, mouse, and keyboard, that was something that was not necessarily explained in a number of tutorials. That is paramount if you want to use right stick as look. At least I found for Valorant. No other configuration did it. I had to actually group those three together, and then when you go through the normal ways of setting up your control, like clicking here and say you want this to be your look, so you'll choose mouse, right? And you go down and you'll choose mouse down, and then we'll go mouse right. That's movement of the mouse to the right. We click on this one and we go mouse left, and then we go mouse up for the up direction, and there you go. Now for the click, you can have it as just a press and choose it to be something like, say we want the press to represent crouch on the keyboard, and crouch is the C button, so we'll choose C, and that'll be crouch on the direct press. Now say that we also want that to be something else as well. Well, that's very simple. We pick on the long press, just one click will be crouch. The long press, say that we want to have that to be inventory, we'll have it represented by K. So now when you click on this on the mouse, on the controller, one quick click will give you C, and a hold click will give you K. Now you can do a third one and have a double click and say we're going to have that as like, maybe you want it to be something like a backspace or something like that. And each one of those will now be represented in the menu down there when you click on it, denoting quick press will give you C, long press will give you K, and a double press will give you backspace, and so on. With the triple space, we can set that to any key we'd like, whether it be the mouse key or remapping a key from the controller, or an actual device if we have maybe an MFD for Star Citizen or something like that. And that's pretty much straightforward. You go through, you find the key that you want, you map it in, make sure you have the right one highlighted, and you can get down to the nitty-gritty with it. Now, what I was saying earlier about making sure that your sensitivity on your stick is mapped properly, once you're on the stick there, configure the sensitivity, you have to go into the mouse area, click global mouse sensitivity off, and then you can scale them up and down to your liking. And I do believe that's it. I hope I didn't take up too much of your time, and I hope that's really informed you guys on how to configure your controller properly. I know there were a few things I had to just mess around with before I found out there was no tutorial out there for it. I even commented like I should make a better tutorial because no one explains the simple way to get the right stick to be your look. So I will reiterate, make sure that you group your mouse, keyboard, and your controller together, and once you configure the right stick, it should work properly. But also know that once you will enable it and you hit apply and you enable it, it will take over control of the mouse, and you will not have control of the mouse anymore. It will be slave to the controller. Other than that, thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Hope to help you guys out. You guys take it easy. I'm out of here.